Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I am coming to you today with a foundation routine. Okay, so my last video was brows, which is so important. It frames the face and you just have to have them look crisp, fresh, and depending on where you're going, they can be natural, they can be bold, but as long as they're clean cut, frames your face perfectly, then you're good. Now next, you need to have a bomb foundation routine. I'm going to share with you a couple of things as far as my favorite products when it is pertaining to foundation or a foundation routine. So to start off, the foundations, my favorite foundations, I think are, I went from loving the Chanel foundation. Gosh, it's been so long since I've actually used that foundation. I don't even know if it had like a particular name, but I know that the shade that I was in was amber. That was a very super matte, super drying foundation, but I loved it at the time. That was like years ago. That is a perfect foundation for my oily girls. That's when I thought that I was oily, but I'm not really oily. But that is a good foundation. It stayed in place. I would recommend that, and if I could find a picture of it, I'll put it somewhere on the screen so you'll know. If not, it'll be down in the description box. So then from there, I moved on to my next favorite foundation, and that was, I think I actually have that one here still. It is the NARS foundation. It is this one right here. So this was the next foundation that I called my favorite, and this is the Sheer Glow foundation, and I am in the shade Macao. It is sheer coverage, so I think it would be more of a light to medium build, and the Chanel was more of a just medium matte build. This, it's in the name, it's a glowy foundation. It is a light to medium coverage, and I fell in love with it. It was good. I didn't have to mix it with anything. It was my perfect shade. And so from there, I moved on to its big sister, and that is, I don't think I have a bottle on me right now, but that is the NARS Radiant foundation. I believe I'm missing an adjective in there. No, yeah, it's a NARS Longwear Radiant foundation, and I love that foundation. When I say I still love that foundation to this day, that's my baby. And I was in the shade Macao as well in that foundation. It gives you just this beautiful look, and like you're literally you're glowing. So I fell in love with that foundation. I love that foundation. My next favorite foundation has to be the I guess if I'm going in order, the next favorite foundation was the Fenty Beauty, and this is the Pro Filter Hydrating Longwear Foundation. So you kind of see a theme here. It's like hydrating, sheer glow, radiant. I am that girl. You know, I'm not a matte girl. I haven't been a matte girl since Chanel. But yeah, I liked the Fenty Beauty Hydrating Longwear Foundation. I am in the shade 420, and that is this one right here. They call it a semi-matte foundation, and I love it. This is about as matte as you're gonna catch me is wearing this foundation right here. To me, this is a full coverage foundation. You can get medium coverage if you use a little bit, but I think that this is pretty full. And currently my all-time favorite, and I'm gonna tell you why this is my all-time favorite. There's a couple of reasons why. I'm talking about the NYX Born to Glow foundation. These right here. And I am in the shade Sienna and Mahogany mixed together. This is my all-time favorite foundation is because it puts me in the mind of the NARS Longwear Radiant foundation. And it's pretty much a dupe for it actually. And this foundation is so cheap. It's literally $10 for this foundation. and I love it. Like, it's affordable versus the NARS, which is, I believe, either in the high 30s or 40. So it's in that range. And this is 10 bucks. You do the math. How much money am I save? That's why I love this foundation, because I am in love with NARS Radiant Foundation. And this is pretty much the same thing for half the price, over half the price. It's my gem. It's my gem. Yeah. So those are pretty much all of my favorite foundations right there. So before we get started, the next thing that I want to move into is my concealers. So I only have a few concealers that I love. We know my very top concealer is going to be the Born This Way Multi-Sculpting Concealer. And then from there, this affordable concealer, which is the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. That's my number 2. And lastly, if we're going drugstore, it's going to be the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. So those are my favorite concealers so far. From here, we are just going to go ahead and jump into the video so I can actually tell you how I apply these products. So thanks for sticking with me through this long intro, and let's get to it. So before we jump right into it, I want to talk a little bit about what I have going on the face already, just to kind of prep for the application. Of course, I did my eyebrows off camera. I also concealed my eyes for eyeshadow or whatever I'm going to do on the eyes later on. This video is mostly about the foundation. Well, it's all about the foundation, all about the base. Cue the music. Cause you know I'm all about that base, about that. No, so it's all about the base here. So before I go in with new products on my skin, I do like to make sure that my skincare is down pat. I did go in with my skincare routine, and I do have a skincare video, so if you are interested in seeing what my skincare routine is like, or at least my morning skincare routine, which is what I did today, I will link it somewhere here, and also in the description bar. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with primer. I'm going to use a couple of different types of primer, and I'm going to explain to you why as I go along. So most of my large pores are right in this area, and for that I'm going to use the Tatcha Silk Canvas primer. So I like to put it here. So I just rub my finger in it and just tap where my pores are. Just kind of fill in those pores. And you see how it's like white? Like that doesn't really go away, but it doesn't matter. It's just not pleasing to look at for me. But it doesn't matter because you're gonna put foundation over it anyway. So you just tap it into your skin as best you can. So if you have large pores anywhere else other than in this little middle section, I would suggest you put primer in those areas too. And then from there, I go in and I use the Master Prime Blur and Pore Minimizing Primer. And this is from Maybelline. It looks like that. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen me use this before. And I just put a little of that on the tip of my fingers, rub it, and then I target my other areas. Smooth that out. Since I did my brows off camera, I'm trying to be really careful around them because I don't want to mess them up, which I may, but we can always touch that up later. So now that the face priming is done, I'm going to go in with one more primer, and this is more of a radiance primer. It is the Milani Prime Late, and it is a strobing and pore minimizing cream. I don't put this in the areas where my pores are because, I mean, can you see that? What's going on here? Okay. Not sure. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I'm gonna go in with this primer. I'm not gonna put it on the area where my pores are because it's something about strobing, glowing. I don't feel like you should put that where your pores are. So I never do that. I just take a little bit on my middle finger and I put that on the high points of my cheeks and just tap that in. And this will just give you a light glow from within before you put on your foundation. And a lot of times that glow will peek through. So now that we're done with all of the priming, we're going to go ahead and get into the actual foundation. So I showed you all of my, I either showed you or talked about all of my favorite foundations that I like to use, the purpose for them. My all-time favorite right now is the NYX Born to Glow, so that's what we're going to use today. So now I'm going to go in with the foundation. I do have sort of a technique on where I place the foundation. I like to go in the areas that need the most coverage, and I'm looking in the mirror here if you kind of see me looking down. But I go in the areas that need the most coverage, which is around my mouth. I get dark spots. Well, not dark spots, but it's just a little darker around my mouth than the center of my face. And then also my forehead. So I like to take it there next. And then I have like a little dark mark here from where I had a pimple, so I'll put it there. And then everywhere else, I will just like dot it. And then just make sure you get underneath your chin. And if you need to go down your neck, definitely do so. And also definitely hit your ears if you need to go on your ears as well. And why I say if you need to go is because sometimes everybody doesn't find a shade that matches their neck and ears. Sometimes their neck is lighter, sometimes their neck is darker. So if you need to go and hit those areas too. I tend to kind of match my foundations with my neck so that I don't have that problem, because the last thing I want to do is wear a nice little shirt and have my neck rubbing against the collar and now I can't get the makeup out of my collar. So I tend to match my foundation with my neck, and that's typically a lighter color than my face. But at the end of everything looks cohesive and put together. So just a tip there. All right, so now that I have everything placed, I'm going to go in with my foundation brush. This foundation brush is from a company called Docolor, Docollor. I believe that I got these from Amazon way back in the day. But I don't know if they're still there, but I have found a website for them where they sell a lot of good brushes. So I'll link that in the description below as well. Just pretty dense and thick. You can see that. And I'm just going to stipple that foundation out. And you want to start stippling in the same area that you started the foundation. So I'm going to start stippling around my mouth. Then I'm going to branch out to the other areas. Because last thing you want is for it to dry down so much to the point where it's not blendable. So So I'm like stippling and brushing. So hit and swipe, hit and swipe, hit and swipe. It's kind of the motions that I'm going with. And now the reason that I use a brush versus using like a beauty blender is because a brush is going to give you more coverage. So the look that we're going for is a full covered or full coverage look. If I wanted it to be a little bit more sheer, I would use a beauty blender or a different foundation altogether. But this foundation is pretty full coverage. It's medium to full. So if I were to use a beauty blender, it'd be a medium coverage. But since I'm using this brush, it's more on the full coverage side. So now that the foundation is looking really nice, blended in, smooth, we are going to go in with the under eye concealer. And for this, I'm going to use the Born This Way Multi-Sculpting Concealer in Chestnut. And I am going to use the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in Dark 42. Now the ColourPop concealer is a little bit on the lighter side. It's a few shades lighter than my skin tone, versus the Born This Way is only probably a hair lighter than my skin tone, but I am going for a brighter under eye today. So that is what we're going to do. The ColourPop concealer has a very nice applicator. I love this type of applicator. It's flat on both sides. I really wish the Born This Way had this type of applicator, but you know, what have you. Now I'm just going to go in directly with this because it's my product. I don't use it on any clients or anything like that. It's mine, so I will just go right in. And I kind of draw a line going down because that kind of shapes out where my nose contour is going to be. And I put this concealer directly underneath the eye. And I flip it on the other side and do the same thing. I haven't used this concealer in a while and it's so creamy and it slides so easily. I'm loving it. I'm gonna put this right underneath like that on each side. And also hit right here in the corner of the nose, right above the lip. I am going to also take that ColourPop concealer and run that down the nose. Chin, I'll do one of those, one of these, and just kind of mix with this concealer. Now you don't have to do this mix. This is my foundation routine, so this is how I do it when I want a brightened look, but not so bright. Like, I don't want it to be just out there standing out, and this is going to kind of help tone it down. So yeah, so I sit like this for a couple of minutes to kind of let the concealer dry down. The more you let the concealer dry down, the more coverage it will bring to your life, honey. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. If I had a fan, I would probably fan it out, so you know, I don't have one yet. So we're gonna let it dry down a little bit. Just give it 30 seconds to 60 seconds. Tribal wars are about to happen right now. I should just leave it like this, right? It's cute. It's cute, right? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna start blending that out. I like to start blending with the chin. Okay, and from the chin, we're gonna go to the forehead and blend that out. Being real careful around them eyebrows, girl, you know. And I didn't do my eyebrows on camera because I just did a brow tutorial, and that's all you need, you know? That's all you need in life is one good brow tutorial. And you never have to do your brows on camera again. Joking, I'm joking. I may do them on camera again, but for now, I am going to skip that step, save some camera time, and just let you guys watch it. I'll link that as well, and I'll put that in the description box so you guys can go watch that. It's a really good tutorial. So that is blended out, and we're gonna go to the nose. And for the nose, I like to take the beauty blender and squeeze it down really tight like this, and just go on the nose. And just continue in that line until it's blended. We've had the under eye sitting for a while, so we're just gonna go ahead and blend that out. I start towards the bottom and blend out that darker concealer, and then I go up and blend out the lighter concealer. So you're kind of mixing that darker concealer into the lighter concealer, and that way it doesn't look so harsh. A lot of times I like to take my nostril, move it to the side, get in that corner really good, and blend out that concealer. Now we have one side blended beautifully, might I add, and we're gonna go to the other side. So I do take the beauty blender again and squeeze it as I go up the side of the nose, because we want that to kind of be sharp. And it's best to look up while you're blending out, because if you look down, there's going to be creases made. For this video, I am not going to do any cream contouring. Now, if you want to see how I cream contour, because I do cream contour sometimes, if you want to see how I cream contour, then let me know, and I will do it in one of my other videos. But for this video, that is not happening. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and move into setting. We are taking the Fenty Beauty powder, the Pro Filter powder in Cashew, and we're going to go in and set the under eye. I like to set the under eye first because of the creasing that you may get. So what I like to do is go ahead and blend out the under eyes once more before I go in with the setting powder. And I'll take that powder in my beauty blender and just dip it in the powder, blow off the excess, and I'll take it and press it under my eye. And I'll do the same with this eye. I'll drive it up the sides of the nose. So if you can see that it is a little patchy looking. So that means that it's just not all the way dried down. So I am going to once again take the Beauty Blender. Look. Somebody about to catch these hands, because I just seen somebody walk across my porch. Like, walk across the front of my house. Like, what? What? Where did you come from? Who are you? And why are you on my property? Okay. But anyway, so as I was saying, it looks a little patchy still. So I'm going to go in once more with the Beauty Blender. And I'm going to set that. And I'm going to set across the lip as well. And I'm just literally pressing that powder into the skin. Oh, that looks so good. Looks so good and smooth. I will take a brush and just dust the under eye in case there's any excess powder left over. Just lightly dust. You don't want to dig this brush into your face. So with the same brush, which looks like this, it's just a very loose, it's not too dense. I'm going to go in with my, what is this? Oh, I'm going to go in with my Laura Mercier translucent deep powder. And I'm just going to lock everything else in place. So I'm going in with that. Also set the perimeter of my forehead. Go back in with the cashew. And I set the middle of my forehead with that. And I take the very tip of the Beauty Blender, dip it in that cashew powder, and I drive that down the bridge of my nose. Go back in, dust off the forehead, and dust off the nose. And we are smooth. How is it looking? Let's see. We are smooth, looking very cohesive. We are going to go with the bronzing of the face, which is my favorite part. I love the bronzing. I'm going to use my Fenty Beauty Cocoa Naughty, but I'm going to switch it up a little bit to get a little more of a chiseled look. So I am going to utilize a different brush for this first product. This is Studio Fix NW50, and I'm going to take it on this brush. It's a very dense brush, but it has a certain shape to it. So I'm going to take that, swirl it around in here, tap off the excess, and then I'm going to go and cut my contour. If you can see, it's making a very light difference, but I like to start light and then build. So yeah, so you see I made a slight contour here. And then I'm also going to do that on the other side. I'm going to add a little bit of nose contour, just a little bit. So going in with that same NW50, and we're going to run that down the nose, down the side of the nose. So very lightly, just add a little definition over here. Just adding a little definition, very lightly. Makes a lot of difference. So Coco Naughty Fenty Beauty, my jam. So I'm just gonna put that on a big fluffy brush, and then I start with the hairline. So I bring my hair back, it's not, and then I'm just gonna lightly dust that around the perimeter of the face. We pretty much have everything done. Now is more of the finishing touches. So we're gonna go into the blush and also the highlight. But how is it looking so far? Let me try to get a close-up. But when I get a close-up, it's kind of like very light. So let me try to bring this down. Give you a close-up so you can actually see what the skin is looking like. The light is so bright sometimes, like it takes away from what I'm actually doing. I really need to work on my lighting situation, but for now, everything is working good enough. I'm just gonna put a little bit more here because I see that I need a little bit more going on up in here. Okay, yes, that's better. I'm going to use the Chasing the Sun by Desi Katie. Let me turn this back up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to use the Chasing the Sun by Desi Katie. This is their Dose of Colors collection. Looks like that. And then I just go in with the highlight on top of the cheek. I'm gonna use the NARS Orgasm Blush. Girl, I'm about to be lit. For real. Because this blush is a illuminating blush. So I am about to be glowing, honey. So I'm gonna take a little bit of that and just pop that on the apples of my cheeks. Girl, ooh, girl, you see what I'm doing here? Do you see what I'm doing? That is pretty much it for my foundation routine. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to zhuzh up the eyes a little bit. I'm not gonna put any falsies on today. I'm just gonna do some layered mascara and do some lips. Come back and I'll close out the video. All right, you guys, I am back. I did my mascara. I put some lip gloss on. Yep. And this is pretty much it. I hope this was very easy for you guys to follow. And if you have any questions about it or any questions about the products that I use, then let me know. But I think this is the girl's foundation routine. This is the routine that you need in your life. It is, you know, sculpted, but not too sculpted. It is smooth, you know. Look at that. Pores, where? Pores, where? You know why I don't have any pores? Because I use the right primer, that's why. Okay, whew. I have to get that out of my system. I think this is the best foundation routine for someone like me. I am normal. My skin type is normal. I get combination in the summertime as to where I get oily in the T-zone. But for the most part, I have normal skin. And I thought that I was an oily girl until I nailed down my skin routine. And once I nailed that down, I was pretty much normal. You know, I'm combination sometimes, but I'm pretty much normal. So if you are like me, girl, this is your routine. This is for you. I did this for you. And if there are any oily girls out there, I did dabble in a lot of oily skin products before. So if you need any recommendations, any suggestions, just go ahead and comment down below and let me know. And I will try to help you out there. If you are normal skin type, I can give you all the recommendations you need, honey. Just comment down below and let me know. And I want to take this time to also thank you guys for all of the love that I got on the NYE video. That is pretty much my most highly watched video so far, and I just wanted to take this time out to say thank you guys for that. And also hello to all of my new followers. Thank you so much for joining the squad. I appreciate you, and just let me know what else you want to see, and I got you. We here. I got you. Just let me know. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know down below. Like this video. Oh my gosh, like this video. I need all my likes. I need all my likes. If you like anything in this video, just stop, wait a minute, don't even finish watching this. Just go ahead and like this right now. Just like it right now. Did you do it? Okay, now let's continue. Yeah, girl, this is your foundation routine. This is it right here. This is it. Just for you. You feel me? I am being so silly. I don't know how to close out this video. And that is all for this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.